So today we're going to be testing out the Focos Live app on the iPhone Pro 12 Max with the LiDAR sensor. And I really believe that this technology is really going to change what the industry is doing, especially for vlogging. I got some really cool footage I want to share with you guys today. And if you're new here, just want to introduce myself. My name's Eric Cameron. I am a self-taught photographer, been in the industry for 20 years, and I just can share tips and tricks that I've learned throughout those years with you guys. And if you're already a subscriber here, I know I don't have very many subscribers yet, but I just want to say I appreciate you guys for tagging along and going on this ride with me. All right, I have to get this out of the way first. I was watching some of my favorite YouTubers the other day. Peter Lindgren had a video out on the new Sony A1 and kind of was going through why he may or may not buy it and if he was disappointed with his A7C purchase. And I don't think that's ever the case. I mean, he's big on that flip out screen. So, and the A1's not going to have that. So, but in that specific video, I'll put the link down in the description. You guys got to go watch this. It's hilarious. He was talking about some other things with YouTubers and comments that they get and how you can get over those comments. And I guess his suggestion was more or less that you stick true to yourself and don't let those negative vibes in, block users and whatnot. And then he went into the fact of what his most commented issue was, and it's about his skinny jeans. I got to thinking, I'm bald, I wear skinny jeans, and I'm a pretty big guy too. We should have a dance-off.
I'm very spared from getting hate comments here on the channel, but I have gotten a lot of comments on my skinny jeans, and I don't give a shit. I love my skinny jeans.
Babe, what are you doing?
So in the comments, who did it better, me or Peter?
Okay, so I'm running a iPhone 12 Pro Max on your right, and I'm running the A7C with a 24mm f2.8 lens shooting at f4 on your left. Snowflake just got in my eye. And I was trying to do some tests and see what the iPhone camera sensor does compared to a A7C. Now I'm using the Focos Live app where it does blur out the background, and that's kind of what I want to see with video quality. Can you actually better than DSLR video, and how does that actually function with background and what it actually looks like? So I just wanted to kind of test that whole scenario out to see what it does. It is really super bright out right now with the snow, as you can see, and so this is going to be interesting to see with a mirrorless camera, DSLR set on manual settings. You don't have a lot of control over when the light changes, but it's going to be interesting to see how the iPhone holds up in comparison with that, with the background, with me walking into the actual light, and does the background stay blurred out? So it's going to be really cool to be able to see this footage whenever I'm all done. So I have each clip marked with whether it was shot on an iPhone or whether it was shot on a mirrorless camera. And as I'm walking through these different clips, I wanted to point out that I did do a little bit of correction on the iPhone to brighten up some of the shadows and some of the contrast I got rid of, just to kind of even it out a little bit. But overall, as you're going through and looking at this, now there was no color grading done. Everything was just, the colors are straight out of the camera and straight out of the iPhone. But as you can see, like, this really does a pretty decent job. The only areas that it struggles in is whenever you get some of the mixed background with trees, and it almost looks kind of green, like a green screen, where I feel like I'm kind of off the screen some and was almost fakely put into the scene. But overall, again, I'm extremely impressed with how accurate it is. The LiDAR sensor really makes a huge difference. Now I want to point out too that this was shot with the rear facing camera on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So we're getting the highest quality exposure, the highest quality settings that you can get on the iPhone. Now you can use the front-facing camera on this app as well, but I do want to point out it's not as strong because the front-facing camera does not use the LiDAR sensor as the back cameras do. The back camera is specifically tied to that LiDAR sensor, and it really makes a huge difference on being able to cut the subject out from the background. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Like, is this something that you would use on a consistent basis? Do you think that the footage looks presentable and usable in everyday vlogging or even everyday YouTube videos? Would love to hear what you think.
So overall, what do I think of the Focos Live app and the LiDAR sensor? Well, honestly, I think it does a pretty decent job. Is it anywhere near what a DSLR or mirrorless camera can do with a dedicated lens and large aperture openings? I don't think it's quite there yet. I definitely think that the mirrorless camera, even though I was in bright, sunny, super bright conditions, with a proper ND filter on that, it really would make a huge difference, and there would be really no comparison, I think. However, I do think it's really cool to be able to take that phone and a microphone plugged into it, and you have an easy, quick vlogging setup. I really can't wait to see what technology does with this LiDAR sensor. I think it's just going to continue to get better and better. But for now, I think it's okay. I think it does serve a purpose, and you're able to get some decent quality from it. And if you're in more controlled environments where you're not moving around a lot, the sensor does seem to do a lot better and give a much more accurate result, and there's not a lot of shifting going on between what's in focus and what's out of focus. So that was pretty extreme with a lot of walking around, moving and turning. But overall, I think it did a decent job. It's not the best, but it does do a decent job. All right, that's all I've got today. Hey, if you like this video and it gave you some value, give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And go ahead and subscribe so you never miss a video. Talk to you on the next one.